How much does David Risher make as a Lyft CEO? It says Risher is set to become Lyft CEO April the 17th, which he's already a CEO. He will get an annual salary of $725,000 and a signing bonus of $3.25 million, the company said. And this right here is the main reason why drivers are suffering. Risher, you are being paid all of this money while your drivers can't even profit doing this. And what have you done to benefit the drivers? You haven't done nothing. Nothing. Okay? You can fake like you've been out here doing all these rides when you haven't even touched every market that is suffering. What you guys do is continue to hire more drivers so that the people who are already driving can make even less. A lot of drivers are not even making minimum wage, which you could care less because you're taking home over $725,000 a year, which drivers can't even come nothing close to that. Barely even hitting 30,000 when they should be hitting way more. When they are driving their vehicles and paying for the maintenance and upkeep of their car, risking their lives, you guys think that paying them the bare minimum is okay. Now, I would love to see you, David Risher, live off of the amount that the average driver is making. I mean, live off of it. Because I don't believe that you deserve $725,000, let alone $3.25 million when you're not even putting in the work. You're not putting in the work. You know that Lyft is nothing without a driver. If you didn't have a driver that is risking their life and their car and their time and their gas, you guys would not be in business. But you could care less because all you want to do is hire more people so that you can pay less and give the newer people more money until you decide to pay them less. Because you want to give them more money so that they can come out here and tell people how much money they make and how good money they make until they're not making any. You know, it's a game to you guys. It's a game. And unfortunately, you guys will go down because of the game you are playing with people's lives. You have people out here dying, driving for this company, and you could care less. You can't even pay a living wage like you used to a couple years ago. Drivers used to be able to flourish doing this type of work. You know why? Because they didn't hire. I'm pretty sure you guys didn't hire so many people to the point that you're oversaturating an app, to the point that most drivers who've been doing this for a while are waiting for a ride to have the multi-app just to make some type of profit, because they're not profiting at all for real. You can claim that drivers are making $27 an hour, which that shouldn't even be that low. Drivers should at least be making $50 an hour, at least driving their own vehicle. You guys are not supplying these drivers with vehicles, health insurance, overtime pay, protection, safety. You put safety at the bottom. I thought David Risher was going to come to Lyft and add value to Lyft. Adding value to Lyft is adding value to the driver's life, because without the driver, you are nothing. If every driver decides to quit today, you guys would be out of business. But because you know how desperate people are for money right now, you guys do whatever you guys can to continue to fail your drivers. You guys even lied and said you guys did a 10 or 14% increase. That is a slap in the face when you guys are taking sometimes 70 to 80% out of the ride without even doing nothing but booking the ride. Booking. Drivers, if you guys really want to make some money doing this, I advise you guys to get commercial insurance, get an LLC, get business cards, build rapport, communicate great customer service to these passengers on this Lyft app and start taking these riders, because they are being treated poorly as well. They are being overpriced on their rides. I mean, at crazy, ridiculous amounts that Lyft is taking from these people who work hard and need a way home and back. You guys will be saving these riders by helping them get a better ride with a cheaper amount while you profit 100%, so that you can knock Lyft and Uber out of business. Because without the drivers and the passengers, Lyft and Uber would be nothing. Okay, nothing at all. So if you don't have an option other than to drive for these corrupt, sickening, evil companies, please, whatever extra money you can come up with, invest in yourself. Because one thing about this life we live, if you don't invest in yourself, you're going to continue to make these people that do the bare minimum rich. Yeah, they have a big responsibilities, but are they really out here driving their lives away? Are they driving their cars into the ground? Are they losing money? Are they at a verge of losing everything because they're not making any money, any profit, yet they're making the company profit? Look at how much they're paying David Risher when he could care less about your pay. Because if he really cared, he would make sure that the drivers were paid fairly. He would cut out all these extra stupid expenses. He would take a pay cut, because he shouldn't be making no millions of dollars when most of the money is coming from your rides that you guys are doing. The drivers are paying for these CEOs that could care less about your life, your safety, your car, your time, your pay. I mean, just everything. Everything that should work for you, they find a way to make it not work. And what they do is they don't want to hear what you have to say. When at the end of the day, if they would care more about the people that make them rich, this company would definitely flourish. But all it's done is gone downhill. It keeps going downhill. They keep on mistreating their passengers by charging them these crazy rates, these surges, and taking over 70 to 80%. Some people say 40, some people say 30. No, it's close to 70 to 80%, sometimes even more, because anytime you're telling somebody that they need to pay $130 for a ride and you're only paying your driver $30, you are taking way more than what you should be allowed to. And I really would love to know who is making these rate cards, because even the rate cards are slave cards. Nobody should be working for a 75-cent base rate. Nobody should be working for a 60-cent mile, 11 cents a minute, when they are not even provided gas or a car. It'd be different if Lyft and Uber provided you guys the vehicle and the gas. Oh, okay, yeah. But they don't. So how can you profit when everything you make has to go into bills and gas? You're losing time. David Risher has you guys out here working 10 to 12 unhealthy hours just to make the decent money you used to be able to make in 5 hours before they oversaturated these apps on purpose. They know what they're doing, and they will be stopped. But in the time being, you guys need to figure out something better. And I wish that whatever you guys want to do, it works out for you. But to be honest, if you want to continue driving, you guys need to invest in yourself. Take all of their passengers and put Lyft and Uber out of business. Because the only way to succeed in doing this ride sharing is to do it by yourself, cutting the middle, because all they are is a middleman. They are literally a tech company that's taking most of the money, when you could literally invest $10,000 to $20,000 into your own app, Because all they are is just an app that's connecting you with different people. You could be advertising yourself, marketing yourself. Start small and then dream big. Go big. Because you can be just as rich as them. But as long as they keep you hooked on this app, how can you create your own dreams? How can you create your own reality? How can you manifest what you want if all of your time is being taken away because you're driving your life away? It only takes one time for you to go out there and get in an accident for your whole life to be ruined until you can get back up, if you can. I mean, it's too much going on out here. Driving is it's a high risk. Every chance, even if you're going to the store, it's a high risk. But yet, they know what they're doing because they're out here, even on YouTube. They are promoting new drivers when they can't even pay the drivers. Lyft can't even pay the drivers that they already have, yet you're advertising for new drivers, trying to pay them more than what the drivers who have been making over these last few years. It shouldn't be no reason why drivers that have been doing this for over a year, it should be no reason why they're not getting a big bonus for driving and keeping this company going. Because like I said, without the driver, you are nothing. And David Risher, you need to step up. You need to do better. You need to take care of the people who are making you rich, because your salary, the money that Lyft gives you, is the money that has been taken from the drivers, because these drivers have been risking everything to make you rich while you make them poor. Do better, because honestly, you get what you put out in this world. You sit up here and you take advantage of people who could barely even make ends meet doing the work. You're going to wish that you didn't. I promise you that. I promise you that. And even if you don't think so now, just wait. Just wait. Because your downfall is coming. David Risher, Lyft, Dara, Uber, whatever. Uber Eats, DoorDash, every gig service. You guys are very corrupt and evil. Nobody should be driving for no $3. And it should be a $10 minimum for every platform. And you should only have enough drivers that can have a living wage. You don't need millions and millions of drivers. You need the right amount of fares for the drivers so that everybody can eat. So that every ride that you send them is profit. Because if you did it in a way that every ride that you send your drivers is profit, people wouldn't cancel the ride. You wouldn't need to hire more people, and you don't need to hire more people. You're only doing that to take more advantage of people. And like I said, you will pay dearly for for taking advantage of people who can barely make ends meet doing this work. And yeah, you can say, oh, it's meant for part-time, but you already know that a lot of drivers can't even afford to live even with a full-time job and doing this. So quit hiring so many people if you can't pay everybody a living wage. It's sick that you have these people out here losing sleep, losing energy, losing happiness, losing money, because it's a lot of rides that these drivers are taking, David Risher, that are free because it's not worth it. But they feel like they can't cancel a ride, or they're going to be at risk of being deactivated, even though you have passengers that always falsely accuse drivers to get a free ride, and you deactivate them just to hire somebody else. Because you know what you're doing. I wish I could talk to you, David Risher, because I would definitely love to conversate with you. Because this right here is evil. And I wish that you would drive in every market the 10 and 12 hours that you guys basically push these drivers to do just to make some sort of profit. Because it's not okay. It's not. And continuing to charge your passengers ridiculous amounts and taking sometimes even 100% of the fare, it's evil. And it will be stopped. But just know that you still have time to fix these issues. And if you don't, just know that what you put out, you will get back.